Hello and welcome to Leadership and Career Insight podcast with Dr. Francis Mbunya. It's an honor to be back here again today. This every week we sit down with impactful leaders and professionals to uncover how they have built clarity, confidence, and purpose in their leadership journey. And we are super excited today to have a senior agile coach in the room, and he's going to be sharing a lot of insight on what it takes to strive in the space of career, but specifically in leadership. And we're going to be sharing insight for many of you who are willing to or who want to mount that career leadership as well. What it takes, what are the first steps? Mr. Kingsley Iking, I'm happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you. It's an honor to be part of this podcast, and I hope that I can share some information with the rest of the public, and hopefully that can impact someone.
Thank you. Now, the reason why this is very important for many of our viewers is, with an advent of a whole lot of changes happening within the job market and a whole lot of competition, most especially in high paying position like leadership position. A lot of people get frustrated most often on the fact that it's difficult to even get an interview, or maybe after 10 interview, after 15 interview, you keep on getting ghosting. Now, at what point of your career did you feel like, you know what, it's time for me to move into a leadership space?
All right. Thank you, Doc. Just a little brief of my career. I got into the test as software test engineer, and during that time, the organization I was working for, they started doing agile, and I saw what the Scrum Master was doing. And to me, it looked simple, but for some reason, it was very effective. He didn't have to say much. People just had to do what they needed to do. But he was the leader there. And I thought to myself, I said, there's something I really like to do because, one, I like to help people do things do things the way they want to do it, and and more comfortably, and also enjoy doing it. And I asked questions, and he told me what I do. I'm a Scrum Master, and so I read more into it. And then I realized, you know what? I don't want to be the person coming home and at 8 p.m. they call me and say, oh, we need you to go into this environment and test this and whatnot. I want to be the guy who makes decisions and then things get done. So I told myself, let me look into the Scrum Master space or the Agile space. And I went into it. And since then, I just knew I had to be there. That's where I needed to be. And I've just been growing in that space, from year to year and more to come on that. But that's when it kind of hit me. And I said, I can do more for these people, helping them organize things, helping them do work better than being someone in there, just someone in there doing something minimal.
All right, then if I heard you well, it's at that point where you make a decision, making up your mind. I think I need to do something more, or I think I'm worth for something more. I think
Yes,
I can create more impact,
yes,
and that's a point of clarity on understanding that you want more. Now, when
yes.
you receive that clarity, was that an easy transition? Like, okay, now let me fix my resume, let me go do Scrum.
No, absolutely not. Because with every decision you make to move
Yeah,
higher in the ladder, there's a learning curve. And if you think it's going to be easy, anyone that tells you it's going to be easy, that's a lie.
that's
Because
right.
you have to put in the time
Yeah,
and you have to be patient too, because it doesn't happen overnight. When you put in the time and you keep working, it's going to happen. But if you put in the time and you think, okay, because I put in the time, it should come now, it
yeah,
doesn't work that way. So I had to go learn the courses and everything. I said, okay, now I'm certified, I'm trained, but I didn't really know
yeah.
Agile. I thought I knew it. I've been working in this space, and then until I found, funny enough, I think Doug, you remember this.
Yeah.
I was going through LinkedIn and whatnot, and I would see Doc's, videos on there, and I reached out to him. I said, I've been a Scrum Master for this number of years, and
Mhm.
so, but I feel like I need more. And so you asked me a couple of questions, and I told you, you said, okay, I think you need more coaching. Then I asked myself, I said, why coaching? I'm really good at this. I work in this space. But then I joined Brother Agility
Yeah.
and it changed my life.
Well, that's powerful because I also remember in 2018, I was writing my first book, which was Skyrocket Your Business is Zero Cost. And I've been writing that book between 2015 and 2018. And I met Dr. Angela, who's my former coach. And she said, "Hey, you can write and publish in 3 months." I said, "Wait a minute. I've been writing and for 3 years and I'm not yet published. 3 months." And
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, let me give it a shot. I jumped on a call with her, and within the first 30 seconds, she wowed me. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I can write and publish in 90 days. What am I waiting for? And this is the importance of actually identifying coaching and mentorship and also knowing the decision. But then let's kind of take two steps back. Now, you spoke about you need to make up your mind, and then you need the clarity. And third, you need to find her.
Yes.
Now, kind of looking into the early phase when you started your journey, what are some key lessons you would say you learned trying to work it all about on your own, and the point where you're like, you know what, maybe I need help? What are some of those key lessons before going through all the courses? I'm certified. I know I can do this, at the point like, you know what, I actually need help.
Yes. Okay. So when I first got certified, I said, I've trained and know all of this stuff, but then I didn't understand the importance of having a network.
Hmm.
And your network doesn't need to be too big.
Yeah.
You need people who are, experts in the industry, people who are more experienced than you, people that can teach you things that you don't know yet. But I was sitting there putting in applications, doing this, saying, but don't they see that I'm a Scrum Master? I'm certified. Why are they not calling me? But I
Yeah.
didn't know the ins and outs, the little tricks, intricacies about it.
Hmm.
And someone said, you need to talk to other people that have been doing this.
Yeah.
And that's when, if you're a prideful person, you won't grow.
That's right.
If
Wow.
if you don't put your pride on the side, you will be left behind because you keep thinking to yourself, I know, I'm better, I know too much. No
Yeah.
one can teach me anything that I already know. And so I told myself, you know what, it's time to ask questions, get the help. So I started talking to people who've been in the industry. They say, oh, do this, look up courses, learn
Yeah.
a few things, watch some videos. Hey, you can go on LinkedIn. Like I said, that's how that's how I came across you, Doc. And every day I'll tell myself, yes, I'm working, but I need more time. I need some time, even if I'm tired, to learn something new in that space.
Hmm.
Because the more information I have, the better I know. So
Wow.
that is what happened to me.
Wow. Now that's good, and I think a lot of people need to listen to this. You highlighted you need to drop your pride, and then you need to go for you need to find help among your network. Ask question, and you will get help. But this is my next question. As a professional in leadership specifically, one of the biggest challenge is staying relevant. I coach a lot of people, and many people like, oh, like, I lost my job. I need a job urgently. And maybe you help them get a job after 12 months. I lost my job. I need a job urgently. What is your strategy that helps you grow and stay relevant and even outgrow your job? Because I've seen you grow not just from being a Scrum Master, being a Senior Agile Coach, and not only that, helping others also step into that space. What is the key to staying relevant in your career?
That's a really good point, Doc. I think that it's very simple. Continuous learning. You can never learn too much.
Yeah,
You don't know everything.
that's right.
Because when you learn, sometimes people think learning is just reading things and,
Hmm.
but sometimes when you talk to people, when you coach other people, you learn.
Hmm.
Some of the things that we forget is the basics when you feel like you've gone to the top.
That's
And
right.
then you come back to talk to people and they ask you questions and then they remind you, you know what, I need to go back and really learn these things that I learned earlier in my career that I've just kind of forgotten because I've gone so far. But not just that, but also staying current with the industry trends, right?
Hmm.
If something comes out new in the industry, make sure that you learn and go above. Get certified in areas where people will not even expect you to be certified in. And not just a certification, but also learn that role, learn those skills. At any given time, something might come up. Today you might be a Scrum Master. Tomorrow you're an Agile Coach. What if someone comes to you? You know what? We want to make you one of the members, to manage the portfolio in the organization.
Hmm.
Do you have that skill? Have you learned that? But then I start asking yourself, oh, I wish I learned this, along the way.
Along the
But
way.
there's somebody that was thinking ahead. You have to
Hmm.
be able to think ahead, not just in the now,
Yep.
but what's going to happen tomorrow. So if you think that way, then you find that hunger to want to know more because you want to be relevant. If something happens tomorrow, I know if they're putting these people aside, they'll look at me and go, "Nah, this person has way too much than that we don't want to lose them."
What is your strategy of staying ahead?
My strategy is this: I personal growth is important to me. Like right now, I'm learning other things that has nothing to do with agile coaching, but I'm looking at it as skills that will be relevant not just to me, or even if I'm talking to coaching a group of people and someone is saying something to me, I can understand what they're talking about because I am in that space. So I learn, I study. Also, I talk to my peers within that space. I have fellow coaches that I talk to. They're like my very close friends. If I need help, I reach out to them and say, hey, I need help with this because my organization is starting this. Do you have any idea? And if they don't, then they'll refer me to somebody. I think this person is doing this, right? Do not be afraid to reach out because when you don't reach out and when you don't stay within your community, you will lose relevance. If you reach out to somebody, no one can help you. And when you come back, when people have been studying and getting ahead, you find yourself behind. That's why some people struggle, like Doc, like you said. Some people struggle when they lose their job and then, oh, I can't get a job. But did you keep your interview skills going? Did you look at new questions, right? Have you been coaching to keep yourself up to date? Have you been, helping others to make sure that, hey, when something happens, my door can open because sometimes it's not just what you know. You need to plant something, seeds for
Okay.
that to bear
Wow.
fruit at some point for
Wow.
you. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not just about what you know.
Yeah.
You need a powerful network, and I do agree with that. What are some of the common leadership mistakes you see? You coach a lot of people, especially students who want to enter into the space of leadership or want to take a leap of faith in their career and take a higher position.
Yeah.
What are some of the common mistakes you have observed, and how can people who want to step into a more professional career avoid those mistakes?
Don't think about the cost of success.
Mm,
Don't think about the cost. Think
wow.
about what it's you're going to become. Because cost can keep you on the sideline.
Mhm.
If money is what you're looking for, then you're in the wrong space.
My God, that's a powerful one. Don't think about the cost.
No. You
Okay.
cannot you cannot put a price
Yeah,
on value.
I agree
Value
with
is
that.
created to keep you. If someone is saying, hey, I need someone to coach or I need to talk to somebody, are you that guy that someone is going to say, reach out to this person?
Yes.
Or are you the kind of person when someone thinks about like, nah, I don't think that person is going to be very helpful,
Hmm.
right? And good coaching comes from good mentors,
Yes.
right? There are a bunch of people out there that will tell you they're coaches.
Yeah.
But when you go talk to them, you realize, I think I'm even better than this person that's trying to coach me.
I
But
know.
then you listen to other people and then you go, I don't know anything because that person is a better coach and mentor. And so sometimes we know we have to, these people have the time to put in to do all these things and to bring you that material. It costs money. And these people will charge some people in some places they'll charge you a lot of money, and people will go, "Oh, that's too much money." But then you want a job that pays you $130,000 a year, but you don't want to pay $1,000 to get the coaching. It's about seeing the big picture. If you're only looking at what's in front of you, you've already failed. And so what I urge people to do is always think about where you want to be tomorrow, not what is happening right now. Do I want to be someone that impacts change?
Wow.
Do I want to be someone that's relevant in this space?
Yeah.
Because we have people in this space that just occupy space, and then we have people in this space that bring value.
Okay.
That is how you have
Those,
to think.
those are some powerful points there.
Yeah.
And my next follow up question is also in line with the previous question. We want to talk about dealing with pressure because I noticed that a lot of people tend to make hasty decisions because they want it and they want it now. And you mentioned the aspect of value. There's no cost to value. Now, I do understand that when you transition from being from the QA to getting into the agile space, it took you a season of waiting.
Yes.
And there's quite some pressure and there quite some hard decisions you need to make at that particular point.
Yeah.
How do you balance pressure in the middle of transition?
To be very honest, Doc, this is very personal, and now, like at this point, I really want people to listen to this because when I transitioned, there was a temptation to go back to my comfort zone, right? Being
Wow.
a QA. You know what? Let me go back to what I know. I'm gonna earn a paycheck. Then I keep thinking, okay, money's not coming in. I went for what? I think 6, 7 months without a job.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure.
I know.
But then I'm thinking 7 months versus a career for your lifetime.
Hmm.
7 months is nothing. If that 7 months means I'm gonna keep learning and knowing more when the time comes,
Hmm.
because it's a season, it's a period, right?
Yeah.
When you're ready, you will know. And if you're not self-aware, you will not even realize that you're not there yet.
That's right.
And so that pressure of, oh, I need money to be coming in, kept getting to me, kept getting to me. There were times I wake up in the morning, I say, forget this. I'm going back
Yeah.
to that. But then
Yeah.
again, I remember I'm like, I wanted to leave that space for a reason. So why then do I want to go back there? And then I told myself, you know what? Focus.
Focus.
Focus. Patience, perseverance,
Yeah.
endure it, and trust me. Talk to the man upstairs. He will help you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. The whole balancing of your faith and understanding your reason why.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that when you feel like, let me go back, it's like, wait, there's a reason why I'm leaving, and that reason is not yet fulfilled, and that reason kept you going. And
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier being in the midst of the right people
Yeah.
also help you stay on top of your game. And I also want to kind of kind of bring you back to my own scenario. When I first came to the US, normally it's like, okay, just do what you can do to make money. I,
Yes.
I remember I got to a point and told my wife, you know what, I'm not in this game. I wasn't born to do whatever just to make money. And I had to quit my job. By then I was in Ohio. I was like, look, we're moving to Texas. Wait, we don't have enough money. We're moving to Texas. We don't need enough money to move to Texas. We need a dream to move to Texas. So we
Yeah.
had to craft a dream. We move here, and that is how I was able to rebounce back into my career and stay focused. So I always tell people when you want to go higher, you're climbing up. It's never going to be easy.
No.
It's never going to be easy, and this is where a lot of people kind of bounce back. And I want to talk about also staying focused. And I want you to share a couple of tips that help you to stay focused because staying focused, enrolling is not a challenge. I've seen many people, thousands of people enroll in
Yeah.
my program and they never finish, right? But then the few that finish, and you're one of those who finish and finish well, not just finish well, finish extremely well. Staying focused.
Yeah.
What? what makes you to stay focused? What makes you not to maybe think, oh, it's difficult, I need to go back? Because I know every day is not just
No.
it's not just a level line.
Every day is not rosy.
Yeah,
It kind of goes back to the why I got into this space. And I feel like if I have to stay a day or a week at home, not doing what I know I was called to do, I will feel very uncomfortable. Very, my spirit will fight me. That is just the truth. Because I sit down sometimes, and even in in rather like we have masterminds and days that I cannot join. To be very honest, I don't feel good about it, because it's not just a moment. It's not just to come there and listen to people, but it's also a moment to learn. It's also a moment to hear other people's experiences.
I agree.
And when I wake up every day, I tell
Yeah.
myself, I need to learn something new today. I
Mm.
need to know something today that I didn't know yesterday. And knowing why I'm in the space is what really keeps me going. Because if an organization brings me in to do something, and I feel like I haven't gone to that point where I can look back and say, look at all the impact across the board that I made, then I haven't done what I was supposed to do. Understanding that, yes, we do it, it's a career, we have to get paid for it. But there's more. There's more. It's impacting people. Tomorrow, if I'm not there, what are they going to say?
Yeah.
Who built us to this point? Who helped us get to this point? Right?
Yeah.
And you never know. What you did today might be something that puts you, adds another step to a ladder for you to go up there.
Mhm.
And that's why we have things that are known as references. Right?
References. Wow.
When you ask people for references in places that you've worked, how you did it is
Hmm.
going to, help them be able either speak positively about you or
Yeah.
negatively. And that's why it's very important that when you do what you do,
Hmm.
be in it. Don't do
Being
it
it.
passively, do it actively.
Wow. Yeah, I can clearly agree with you. One of the reasons why you were one of the first guests on my podcast is because we stayed connected. I can make a good reference. This is someone I've seen grown, not just grown, help other grow to their point, and just give out selflessly. So that is very important in the space of referencing as well. Now we have been having a lot of conversation about how to step into a leadership career, how to stay in there, how to grow in there. And one of the key points which I have learned coaching a whole lot of people is that when clarity become part of your journey, it's difficult to give up
Yeah,
because clarity gives you the end point where you're heading to. And I've also noticed that a lot of people spend a whole lot of money doing one course to another. Oh, I just need another course. Oh, I need another certification.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, it becomes very frustrating for them because they're not able to hit their goal. And
yeah,
simply because they have not gained the clarity, which also clarity come with mentorship. Clarity comes with someone who understand, who have been there, who can easily take your hand right there,
yeah,
which is one of the reasons why I started this program, the Career Acceleration Bootcamp. It's just 1 month for people to get in. Oh, let's talk about your next phase. Let's talk about your next journey. The bigger problem I've seen is that many people wait until when they're laid off, then they want a job. What about you actually tell them, hey, I need to get to a next position
yeah,
and give a good resignation. Not the one you'll come back begging another day, but you have outgrown that.
yeah,
And you will realize that when you outgrow and they see you're relevant, they will beg you to stay.
yeah,
Most often because of that relevant.
yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Absolutely, Doug.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add something just a little bit on the last point you made.
Hmm.
The organization I work for is a great place to work and
Yeah.
whatnot, everything. And I recently had an interview for another organization, and they asked me, "Why are you leaving them? I
Yeah.
mean, that's a great place to work." And what I said to them was, there's always an opportunity to go into another space to learn something new or to impact,
Yeah.
bring some impact into that space. If I feel like I have put down roots where I am right now, that is going to help the place grow.
Yeah.
And then there's another space where I think my experience can help them grow. Then of course, I mean, I'm not just sitting on my laurels and thinking I am comfortable here. No, there's always room for improvement. There's always new opportunities. So that is why I'm here today.
Wow, that's like a perfect response. What is one piece of advice you would give to professionals seeking long-term success in leadership career?
I would say one, you have to be very honest with yourself. What that career means to you. First of all, if you're not honest with yourself about what you want to get into, then there's a probability along the way you're going to, fall. There's a probability along the way you're going to deviate. But if you're honest and you tell yourself, this is where I see myself long term, or at least in the long term, while I'm still doing this, there's more I want to do, but this is my foundation. If that is just something temporary for you, and by temporary, I mean, if it's not something you're looking to like for the next couple of years to really build you,
Yeah.
then you should not get into it. Because
Wow.
then what you're doing is you're only killing time until the next best thing comes.
Hmm.
And then what happens to the next best thing? You're still going to do the same thing to the next best thing.
That's right.
Find that space, which is something that you know is within you. That is where you're supposed to be. Clarity, your purpose,
Wow.
right? And then build yourself in it. There's so many things, career spaces in this life, but then you have people that are leaders in that career space.
Hmm.
Those leaders didn't just become leaders overnight. It's because they saw themselves as the people that want to champion this, the
Yeah.
people that want to be like. If I say this, the first thing that comes to mind is that person. I've heard this
That's right.
person. I've heard that. So see yourself as someone who wants to be a household name in it, and a
Hmm.
household name not just because you want to get the dollar signs on it, but a
That's right.
household name because it impacts people.
Hmm. Wow. Powerful. How do you define impact in a career? What would you consider as impact?
To me, impact if impact to me is when you when you do something
Yeah.
and someone can see how it affected them, I'll say positively,
Positively.
because impact to me is positive.
Wow.
If it's negative, then how much you didn't really impact, you just compounded to what they had. Now, if someone leaves a positive impact on you, you
Hmm.
never forget it. And why? Because you learned something from it.
Yeah, it's something.
You took something that was very relevant that made a difference in your life. And so if you, by mentoring somebody, coaching
Yes.
somebody, you know, or even on organization, changing, the working style, structure, everything in that.
Yep.
When you can leave something behind that you're being remembered or is being seen as your footprints or your
Footprint.
handprints,
Yes.
that's impact to me.
Wow. Ability to be still remember even when you leave.
Yes.
Let your footprint speak when you're leaving.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us on Leadership and Career Insight today. If you had one summary, or I can put it this way, if you had to summarize your leadership philosophy in just one sentence, what would that be?
To me, I think my leadership philosophy is have integrity. Integrity is not necessarily, I think, what you do when no one is asking questions or when no one is watching you,
Yeah,
how you go about it. To me, that really builds a good leader, because if you have no integrity, you cannot lead people. And my leadership style is listen and then respond to what people are saying. Because if you don't listen, whatever you're trying to put out there might not be answering the questions that they're asking.
Right. And I always say that the bigger dream or the success or the breakthrough you're looking for is waiting for the clarity of your purpose. And I believe that one of the reasons why you're staying along your career course right now is because you did not just find a job, you found purpose.
Yeah.
And exactly what we want to have a lot of people out there do. It was great to have you again once more in our leadership and career insight. And thanks again for listening. Every week, we are going to come back with another new powerful session just to help you become that leader which you're meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode.